Now imagine knowing that a potentially life-saving treatment exists for your child with cancer, but you don't meet the criteria to access it here. What would you do? Well, the Warner family from Hampshire have decided to raise £200,000 to take their son Oliver to Spain for treatment. Lewis Coombs reports.
He's very funny, quite cheeky.
It's quite hard to imagine that from everything he's going through and gone through that he has quite a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Aged just 5 years old, Oliver Warner has spent over half his life receiving treatment for stage 4 neuroblastoma.
I remember sort of saying to the consultant one day, could this be, something really nasty? And she said, well, possibly, we've got to consider that now. I had no idea what it was, and yeah, I'm just completely shell-shocked.
This cancer affects around 100 children in the UK each year. It usually starts as a tumour in the abdomen, but often forms in nerve tissue elsewhere.
You feel numb, like you're sort of looking down on something that's happening to someone else, and it doesn't really feel like it's your life.
Oliver responded well to his first chemotherapy treatments and went into remission in the spring of 2017, but in January this year, he relapsed.
Your first thought is that he's not going to make it because, when you're first diagnosed, it's about a 50% chance of survival. You know that if they relapse, that drops massively. And so, just absolute terror, really, that he won't make it.
Scientists in Southampton are now working on a groundbreaking trial of an antibody that has shown great success in a number of cases. But Oliver isn't eligible to take part in this trial, as despite a history of relapsing, he currently no longer has a tumour large enough to determine whether the antibody has worked.
One of the things for a lot of cancer trials is you have to have tumour that you can measure, so you can see how it's responding to the treatment, and at the moment Oliver hasn't.
Had this trial been available in January, when Oliver's cancer returned, he would have qualified. But now his family are faced with having to raise £200,000 to access the treatment abroad in Spain.
You feel like your child should get the best medical care available in the world, regardless of cost. If we got to the point where we've raised the money and we know we can go, it would just be an enormous relief to know that actually, we haven't got to keep fighting for what you do feel like your child should get as standard.
Having set up a fundraising page, the hope is they can now remain on track to find a cure. Lewis Coombs, BBC South Today.